Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And Paul, it's nice to have you here again.
It's good to be back.
You know what, Paul? I was wondering if you didn't want to see us anymore.
Almost so, but no, it was just pouring course for the season, for the moment. And now I'm back. I'm here in the present. Just glad to be here.
Yes.
Glad to be on the show. Glad to wake up to our viewers, to our watching audience. Tune in every single morning. Just excited to wake up with us, to be with us, to listen in to the conversations, to glean from what we have to share. So it's good to be here this morning.
Paul, you have a glow.
Do I?
Yes, you do. And watching you, I hear a certain Beyonce song. If you like it, then you should have put a. Let's see the hand. Should have put a ring on it.
What are you talking about?
Paul was like, "What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, the cat's out the bag, Sabrina. So, how do you put it in sophisticated terms? Let's just say it as it is. So, a couple weeks back, I said I
did the thing.
I did the thing, and I said I do to the love of my life, Amber. We got married on June 24th, right here in Belize City at the Trinity Assembly.
Look there.
Look at that.
Look at the glowing
I can't get
hair.
over the beautiful images.
I know.
She was just beautiful in the moment.
Paul.
That's my mom and I dancing. I can't remember that conversation, that has sparked quite the conversation on social media because people are wondering what were we talking about. And more so, people were putting their own caption to try and decipher what we were talking about. And so we really, that day was very special to both of us, to both of our families, to our friends.
Look at you, all confident in your suit.
Yeah, to our loved ones, to all that were there. And this is really a moment to say thank you to everybody that showed up, to everybody that sent well wishes. And this is really the start of a journey that had begun a couple of years back and will continue into the years to come, because when we said I do on that altar, we really meant it, and we meant that we would stick by each other's side for the rest of our lives. Your turn next, Sabrina. I'm just kidding.
I mean, we just want to say congratulations to you again, Paul. Obviously, we were all excited for this huge milestone in your life. Of course, I met Amber. We also did a story with you guys. So we knew of your love story.
That was it. That was
for Valentine's Day. Yes.
Yeah, that was a Valentine's Day
story.
So
we knew of your love story already, and of course, some of our viewers would have known as well because you guys shared it with us.
You know of some things.
We know it all, Paul. We know everything.
At times we put out on social media what we want people to see, the refined version of what love and what relationships are. But behind those curtains, that's when the real nitty-gritty work takes place. That's when you grind my gears, I grind your gears. But it's all to sharpen each other and to make each other better. And that's one of the things I truly appreciated about Amber, the fact that when we grind each other's gears, it's not to break the metal, but it's more to sharpen the metal so that we could cut deeper the next. Not so that we could cut deeper the next time, but so that we could be sharper and so that we could be better going into the future, which is really the present and the now.
Is there anything specific that you are looking forward to in this chapter of your life?
Of course, there's so many things I'm looking forward to, and it's important that when I look forward to things, that I think also about how I'm operating right now to ensure that those things come to pass. So, for example, I'm looking forward to having kids. You know, I'm looking forward to building a family. I'm looking forward to establishing that legacy. It's been one of my dreams, and I know that I have a huge responsibility on my shoulder to ensure that at this moment, the decisions I'm making, the things that I'm doing, the examples that I'm setting is towards that. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Amber and I at the age of 50, 60, 70 years old in our rocking chair. Like, you remember?
All right,
Open your eyes. You remember that show? What happened to Sabrina Daly?
You know what? Why do we need to stretch it that far, Mike?
No, but I'm looking forward to all of that and all of those times. You know.
You're so funny. But I mean, we're really excited for you. You are, I believe, the first one of the reporters to take that big step.
Well, not to call out everybody. I don't know why you're doing
excited.
that.
That's something that we want to celebrate as well, and we're looking forward to it. You know,
thank you so
we're
much.
looking forward to celebrating further chapters with you. But yeah, I definitely thought that was a topic buzzing because you are really hilarious on social media, Paul, and we always talk about this. But when you meet the post about your mom and you dancing on the meme, the reactions that people gave. Hilarious. We saw things from your mom saying, "Am I still in the whale?" and that was your face about cooking, ironing. It was really funny.
You know, I'm still trying to figure out what that conversation was like. What would prompt my facial expression to be that, and her facial expression to be that? Because it's out of the norm for us to have those types of engagements. So I asked her, and she's not sure. I'm not sure either.
I also saw your post yesterday when you said, you're back at work. You thought you were getting a sugar mama, but turns out you still have to work. You were duped.
I was. I figured when I said I do that would have been it.
Yeah.
When signing that contract meant that everything that is hers is mine, and everything that. But I think it's the other way around. Maybe I got it mixed up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I came back to work. I'm like, okay, so I still have to do this. Darn it.
Darn it. Well, I mean, that was just funny. But aside from, you taking that big step, some other topics that we saw buzzing online was a new app, Paul. And you're the one that actually put me on with this one. So maybe you could explain, because I'm apparently in the dark.
So switching topics a bit, and you may only be in the dark briefly, because what I'm seeing happening is rapid growth for this app. And I think it's an interesting topic because we live in a social media age. And of course, I'm talking about Thread, the new Instagram app. And Thread was launched by Meta. Meta is the owner of Facebook, Instagram,
and WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, right? And they have other apps that does other things for other applications, for other hardwares. But this one in particular is considered a rival of Twitter. Now, for those who use Twitter, I don't think Twitter has a large following in Belize per se, but it does have a following, a relatively huge following. And so yesterday, June 5th, Meta launched Thread, an Instagram app, and it's considered, like I said, a rival of Twitter. It's quite an interesting app. And within 4 hours, it had 5 million followers worldwide. It has been launched in 100 countries, including the UK. And within 7 hours, it was already at 10 million followers. So one would imagine that within the course of today and tomorrow, that these numbers will double and quadruple, and more people will go on this app. But somebody explained it to me in a funny way last night. Because what you're seeing is that as people subscribe, it's like you're entering, and I'll tell you what they said, but it's like you're entering a new room. And it's like, wait, what is this? What is this? And I find it interesting that we live in the age now where once a social media app is launched, that we could get it instantly. Because I can't remember when Facebook was launched that it was something that as soon as it was launched, you got it and you could have explored it, or Instagram per se. I can't remember that as much as I can remember when Thread, which I would imagine is set to become a huge deal, that this is being launched in real time, and that people are actually experiencing it and discovering it in real time. But somebody explained it to me like this. They said it's like when you go on a family field trip and you arrive at the destination and you're like, oh wait, you're here, and you're here, and you're here. Oh, you there? And that's what has been happening, and that's what has been creating a lot of the buzz with this new social media. But we're seeing a lot of news outlets already going onto the platform. We're seeing a lot of other verified pages, credible sources going onto the platform. So I would imagine this is something, especially if you already have an Instagram page and you already have a huge following on Instagram. It's simple as transferring your followers from Instagram to Thread. But unlike Instagram, which is more of an image and sort of video platform, what Thread does, Thread is a text platform. You could post your videos, you could post your pictures as well, but it's more for interaction and engagement in terms of conversation. So it's similar to Facebook, but it's not Facebook.
More
it's
similar
Thread.
to Twitter.
It's more similar to Twitter as well.
But so Thread, as you say, I mean, we were talking about this, and I was mentioning, I think that maybe Instagram or Mark Zuckerberg was trying to introduce that with a recent update that they had where you could post a simple like thought that you had on your mind. On
Instagram, like a stories.
Yeah, it's like a bubble story.
Like a bubble, right.
So I imagine that was the teaser that would lead up to the app Thread.
So we may have a Twitter killer on our hands, and this may be a case where more Belizeans will join and engage and interact with this. But I look forward to seeing you explore it, and those who haven't as yet try it out and see what it's like. Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, we know that we live in an age where people rely heavily on social media. For obviously leisurely purpose, but even professionally. We've seen where professional news outlets have also even transitioned into social media in spreading news. We've obviously implemented that with TikTok, Facebook, as well as Instagram. So we'll see. Maybe we make the transition to Thread.
I'm sure that within due course we may have our News
Social
5,
media,
Open Your Eyes. Get Threads for Open Your Eyes and start uploading there. I'm sure we'll see all of that transition take place.
But yeah, those are definitely two of the buzzing topics this week. But we do want to say thank you guys so much for joining us. Of course, as it relates to the weather, we will be getting further updates from the National Meteorological Service. But so far, Paul, it's a pretty gloomy morning.
Yeah, well, I was, for my honeymoon, went to Cancun, and the weather out there reminded me a lot of what we see in Belize. And then coming back home, this Sunday was when the downpour started. And then Monday and Tuesday, I saw that it was calming down a lot, and yesterday got really hot. And so I'm looking forward to see that this type of balance between hot and cool continue.
Yeah, definitely. We've been experiencing some rather cool temperatures. Of course, we all appreciated that coming off the heels of several heat waves. So I think right now we just want to know that it's not going to be too mucky, because earlier in the week and a little bit later in last week, it was very rainy, and we even saw cases where it was starting to flood a bit. So I know that we are hoping that it kind of calms down and we get just enough rain, but not too much where, it gets uncomfortable. But of course, as we mentioned, we'll be getting further updates from the National Meteorological Service. But overall, it seems like it's going to be a pretty good day. I feel so.
I mean, you step out in that sun sometimes, and it's like as soon as you step out, it's best it rains, because you're just dripping in sweat. Like once that sun hits your skin and that heat, it's like the waters and you just begins to melt away.
Yeah.
And it begin to pour. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, I can imagine what it's like for persons that are trying to work out. I see early in the mornings that you know, persons tend to, well, I personally believe that it's better to work out as early as possible when the sun's not too much out. But yeah, it's definitely been hotter than usual. But we don't have them with us on the line, so we're just going to go from information that was provided to us. And as it relates to the general situation, we can expect fresh and moderate easterly airflow. The 24-hour forecast comes with a few cloudy spells, and tonight skies will be partly cloudy to cloudy. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will develop over the south this morning. Elsewhere, shower activity will be generally isolated. But tonight and tomorrow morning, we can expect a few showers and thunderstorms to develop mainly along coastal areas.
And then the winds will be blowing from the east at 10 to 15 knots. Marine conditions, the sea state will be light sharp, and waves are expected to be between 2 to 4 feet. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for a few outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms to develop mainly along coastal areas. Sab, the highs and lows for today?
Yeah, so along the coast, we can expect 89 degrees Fahrenheit, inland 94 degrees, and of course, in the hills, 82 degrees. And the lows, we can expect 81 degrees along the coast, 73 degrees inland, and a nice 68 in the hills. We do want to say, though, that as they mentioned, you guys can expect a bit of showers and thunderstorms. And this, of course, extends through to the rest of the week. As you see on screen, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's expected to be pretty much the same as it relates to temperatures.
All right.
But yeah, that's what we can expect from the National Meteorological Service. But we're going to move into our show lineup this morning, Paul. And we have 3 great conversations, starting things off with representatives from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology, and SJC to talk to us about the Ministry of Education's curriculum rollout.
And in our second conversation, we have 3 individuals that are no stranger to us here on Open Your Eyes and Channel 5. And it's all about sports. We're talking BK Sports Group, and they'll be here to talk to us about the BK Sports Scholarship.
And closing things off in our third segment, we'll have representatives from the Jankuno Productions to speak to us about the upcoming show, Cutie the Freak. I'm looking forward to that one, Paul.
That's interesting.
I'm excited about that.
Jankuno Productions, they always put off amazing shows, and I'm always excited to speak with Ms. Sandra McKay about these productions and the inspiration behind creating them.
I think we'll be in for a really good laugh.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But we're going to go over to our eye-opener this morning just before we take a break. And as you know, our eye-opener is taken from dailyom.com, and it goes like this. Change can enter our lives silently, and this change can be just as important as change we have worked hard for. We all see things about ourselves, our relationships, and our world that we want to change. Often, this desire leads us to take action toward inner work that we need to do or towards some external goal. Sometimes, without any big announcement or momentous shift, we wake up to find that change has happened, seemingly without us. This can feel like a miracle as we suddenly see that our self-esteem really does seem to be intact, or our partner actually is helping out around the house more. We may even wonder whether all of our hard work had anything to do with it, or if it just happened by way of grace. The same laws that govern the growth of plants oversee our own internal and external changes. We observe, consider, work, and wonder, tilling the soil of our lives, planting seeds, and tending them. Sometimes the hard part is knowing when to stop and let go, handing it over to the universe. Usually this happens by way of distraction or disruption. our attention being called away to other more pressing concerns. And it is often at these times, when we are not looking, in the silence of nature's embrace, that the miracle of change happens.
Yeah.
Beautiful eye-opener this morning. Of course, we always appreciate sharing these with our viewers. But Paul, I always say that I feel like these eye-openers are for us as well, you know? We're human, and we also appreciate these bits of motivation on a daily basis. So yeah, well, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, as promised, we will have the Ministry of Education here with us, talking to us about their curriculum rollout. So you don't want to miss that.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank contactless MasterCard debit card. Introducing our standard debit and MasterCard Platinum debit cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
And now, the hottest match of the evening. Get ready for action! Here they come. Amazing! They're unstoppable, unbeatable. They have them on the ropes. The heat rises to the top. 1, 2, and 3. They're on fire! Chiladas. Fire up the taste of Belize with the new Chiladas crunchy tortilla taco chips in its hot chili flavor. Fiery habanero brings the heat. They're on fire! Chiladas. From Snackers, done right, done here.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
What did you mean earlier about climate change, Mom?
Well, when I was your age, I remember beautiful coral reefs and healthy beaches. The summers weren't as hot as they are right now, and the rainy season meant that it only rained when it was supposed to.
And then what happened?
The weather just started to change, and storms got worse. Coral reefs started to die because the ocean was getting too warm, and crops started to die because there was not much rain. You know, we realized as adults that we were doing something that was causing this.
What were you all doing?
Same thing we're doing now. Not using clean, renewable energy, chopping down too many trees, and even polluting the air with gases, such as the gases emitted from our cars when we drive around.
We need to help before it's too late, Mom.
We can't let it get worse.
What can I do?
We can raise our voices.
With 35 million dreams, aspirations, and futures at risk in CARI Forum, we need your voice. in our story against climate change. Acknowledge, commit, act. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center under the Intra-ACP Global Climate Change Alliance Plus program and is funded by the European Union.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800-A-WAY-OUT. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. The world as we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing, but hope is remaining. And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we stand. Take care.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800-A-WAY-OUT or our cell phone number, 672-9628.
We understand that there aren't enough hours in the day. That's why RF&G is working to make the process of renewing your insurance policies easier. WhatsApp the words "Get Started" to 670-8700. We will prompt you to select the service you are interested in. Select the service and answer a few simple questions. An RF&G representative will process your request and follow up with you when your transaction is completed. It's that easy. Use WhatsApp and skip the lines. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
All right, and we are back with our first conversation for this morning. And we have 3 guests in studios with us for this conversation. We have Mr. Fidel Paul, who is the principal at SJC. We have Ms. Miriam Paz, who is the support team and lead teacher at the Ministry of Education. And of course, no stranger to open your eyes and our viewers, Dr. Louis Zabane, who is the Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we're here to talk about the MOE curriculum rollout. This has been a few years process, and we are here. Dr. Zabane, first, let's perhaps get an update in terms of how we started, for those who may not be familiar with the process, what inspired this process, how we started, and perhaps where we are right now.
Certainly, certainly. Well, good morning to you all. Thanks for inviting us. And you know, when I got the invitation, I thought we should also have our partners with us, and especially our teachers. And you're right, we started really at the beginning of 2021. At the time, we were in the midst of COVID, and so it was all Zoom meetings. We met with 18 different stakeholders between January and August. And that was very important, so we could all say, okay, this is where we are as an education sector. We identified some areas of priority, and clearly the curriculum overload was one of those areas that we had to focus on. After that, we embarked on a couple of initiatives to address that. We created a consultation team. So our approach from day one has been partnerships. So Ministry of Education, BNTU in particular, in that team with Senator Elena Smith, and if you all will allow me to use this little opportunity to thank Senator Smith for her awesome service to Belize, and as much as she wants to go back into the classroom, we hope that she will continue to work with us in this very transformative effort. And of course, we welcome the new president who is coming in, and we look forward to working very closely with her and her team as well. We also had on that consultation team management, a critical partner. We had Pathlight. You probably have had a number of sessions with Pathlight. A very innovative group. UNICEF has been very, very supportive. So we move around the country. We did 2 rounds of consultations with 312 primary schools since then, back and forth across the country. Very exciting. For others, it might look laborious, but for us, it's we love what we do. And so it's good to go in and hear and listen to our teachers. So we did that almost every Thursday and Friday. The ministry was somewhere out meeting with our teachers and principals. We also did begin in this year, January, consultations with the secondary schools. So we have 62 secondary schools, and we were able to do 34 right at the end of this school year.
Okay.
We met with the rest virtually, but we continue to meet with them. And I'm sure Mr. Paul will be able to give us some of that perspective from secondary schools. And Ms. Paz, coming herself from primary level, would be able to give great insights there. But that's what we've been doing, working closely with our partners and trying to make sure that this is a ground-up process, because we want it to be sustainable. We don't want that in the future, in the very long future when we might have a different government, that anything changes. So we worked with everybody. In fact, we also consulted with the opposition party, and we talked with them as well, and they gave constructive recommendations. And it's on that premise that we move forward by working together as a team. So that's a synopsis.
Why curriculum reform?
It's a very good question. You know, sometimes we take for granted the most important things that matter. It is actually the curriculum that drives all the activities in a school. Depending on how the curriculum is designed, it impacts how teachers actually teach. It impacts how we train our teachers. It impacts how the students learn within the classroom. And so this was the place where we have been investing our time, because we recognize that improvements in the curriculum have very, very high payoffs for us. And that's why the curriculum.
What were the gaps that you guys observed while doing these consultations and visiting the schools?
Yes, and that was the purpose of our visits, to identify the gaps. So in the first instance, we saw that teachers were under undue stress because the curriculum had grown so much. In particular, the primary school curriculum, we did a count. And there are things called learning outcomes. This is what the teachers work on a day-to-day basis in the classroom for the children to develop an understanding of these particular things they want to see in the kids. And we had gone beyond 10,000 learning outcomes. Now, for those who would know, other progressive countries, when they jump 4,000 or 5,000 learning outcomes, that's indeed a lot of learning outcomes from infant 1 to standard 6. So we immediately cut back on that. We also found that the teachers were spending an inordinate amount of time preparing unit plans, lesson plans, assessments. We took their recommendations, and again, Ms. Paz would be able to best describe that, but now we have these unit plans prepared by teachers on our ministry website. So the idea now, when they go back into the classroom for this next school year, they don't have to spend the reported 3-4 hours at night not being able to spend time with their families on weekends. Now we would be able to have done that work by the best teachers across the country. They go and they can download that from our website and now focus on the new methodologies that competency-based education requires. Focus on those things that will create mastery in our children for various competencies that we have in our framework.
Now, I want to bring Ms. Paz into the conversation. I want to understand a bit more about a competency-based education, if you would. But before that, Dr. Zab spoke about the fact that they had over 10,000 learning outcomes and that is being reduced. So my question is, if you're reducing the amount of learning outcomes, are you also reducing the amount of things that a child will learn?
No, what happens is that we had a lot of repetitive concepts. So those learning outcomes were removed because they were already found in other learning outcomes, right? So we removed those and we kept the ones that would cover the entire concept. Now, I like the question that you asked, why curriculum and why no, right? Our students have been, everyone in this room comes from an education background where the teacher was the only person that was available or given the opportunity to impart knowledge within the classroom setting, right? That is what we want to change. We want student involvement. We want interactive activities within the classroom. We had principals walking, and if your classroom was making noise, why are the children making noise? We don't want to hear, we don't want to walk and pass a classroom that everyone is just sitting there looking at the teacher and probably not even listening to what he or she is saying.
Mine is nowhere there.
Right. So what we want is more interactive lessons, more interaction within the classroom. Teachers coming to classroom, and the fact that unit plans were provided to teachers, that's a huge help.
It is.
Our summer sessions were always either revising our units, rewriting our units. Now teachers have those units, and those units have been prepared. You go to the 501 Academy, you have your learning outcomes, they're available. You have your unit plans, they're available. And right now we're working on providing lesson plans as well. We're working on that, you know. So I think it's very important to focus on the idea that children will have more opportunities, especially those that have different learning abilities, because you step into a classroom and you teach a group thinking that everyone is at the same level, and you select one type of activity where you stand in front of the classroom and you start teaching. Whoever gets it, whoever doesn't get it, you will know when you give an assessment at the end of the lesson or at the end of the week or at the end of the month. We want to move away from that. We want individualized learning, cater to the different learning abilities that we have within the room. We have a lot of students that are visual learners, who we were talking about earlier, audio learners, kinetic learners. So it's very important for us as teachers to cater to all those needs, and competency-based education focuses on that.
I love that.
It focuses on, you're going to reach to the classroom, we're going to have differentiated activities, differentiated learning activities. I come from St. Peter's Anglican School. We have a special ed unit in our school. So I come from a school where my my principal would walk around the entire day, because children need to be engaged in learning, in interactive activities, right? So we do differentiated learning. If I have a group of students that are not at the same level with the other students, I would need to find activities that would make sure to bring them and close those gaps that we have in the learning environment, so that they are at the same pace and the same level with other students.
Not to cut you, but I get that on one hand there was, I'll throw the book at you all, and if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, well, too bad. You stay behind. Versus an individualized, more personalized form of engagement. My question to them is, how does a teacher with, let's say, 30 students in one classroom manage such an approach? In a case where you have 30 students, it's easier to feed everybody the same food than to have specialized diets for each individual, because that takes way more time to manage.
Definitely. I would like to hope that not 30 students are going to be falling behind. And I can give you an example with my classroom. I had 28 students. And out of my 28 students, I probably would have 5 or 6 that would need special attention. So you group them, because in one of our macro competencies is collaboration. So you have students learning from each other. You have students that lead in groups. You have students that come with that knowledge that sometimes that you're amazed, especially with technology nowadays, you're amazed at the level of knowledge that they have. So you bring those students in and you work with them. In my classroom, I had a group, 5 different learning groups, right? And then I don't separate them. I mix them, integration, collaboration. You learn from each other. Your students that are at this level are the ones that are right there to assist you while you're delivering. And sometimes it's amazing to look at how students learn faster from their peers than from you as the educator. So like all you need to do is provide those types of activities that would cater for all these students to learn at this and be at the same level and at the same pace. So to answer your question, you group them. Collaboration is very important. We want to bring that across with teachers, because there shouldn't be a teacher planning all these subjects by themselves. Collaboration. I might be a strong teacher in language arts, in mathematics, Belizean studies. Why is it that I am not sharing that with my colleagues? So that is very important to share and bring across.
If I may add, a lot of the new training that we're undertaking right now is to retrain our teachers across the country on how to do these. So this is an integral part of the process.
Fidel, let's fit you into the conversation. You are the principal over at SJC. How is your institution preparing for this curriculum rollout?
So our school started to transition to competency-based education like 3 years ago.
Okay.
So when we saw the national curriculum framework, we embraced it because it was something that we believe in. We saw, what we did first is that we started dissecting the document and see what the values that it has, that it brings, and then put it into practice, adapted to within our school. We did that at several levels. We met with senior administration first, then with the heads of departments. Then, at a meeting, I presented to the teacher what is the framework all about, and we identified different team leaders, not necessarily the heads of department, but also other other teachers who would lead specific subjects geared towards the new curriculum framework.
What is the reaction of the teachers?
Well, like I said, we have been working towards it for quite a time now, so it was something that they readily embraced.
Okay.
We are in favor of, we believe in competency-based education. We believe that students need to establish not only the skills, you know, but also the correct attitude, the correct values, the correct, you know, everything that comes along with the competencies and like that.
So what does competency-based learning look like in a secondary school setting?
So, like I said, 3 years ago, we started with the introduction of an interdisciplinary project at our school. In semester 1, our students still sit the traditional exam, but in semester 2, the students will do an interdisciplinary project. That is done throughout the second semester in different phases. Now, the teachers will, we get together as a school and we identify a theme for the school, a driving question that then everybody will work their project, their interdisciplinary project towards that, that driving question. Now, the project, we had 2 or at most 3 subjects coming together, and the students will create one project for 2 subjects or 3 subjects, but then there will be several elements different for each particular subject. Now, at the end, there was this, this project that will encompass, say, if math got together with religion, or English with Spanish and history. So this project will be geared towards, you know, achieving the different competencies that they need to master in all these subjects.
And that's the integration.
Right.
That's the integration that we want to see. We want students to make that connection that everything I am learning within the learning setting is, I am going to need it in the real world. We want to make that connection. So that is what we call the cross-curricular learning areas, where you bring all your learning outcomes or the different concepts that you learn across in different subject areas.
And you bring,
them together.
Into real life.
Right, into real life, into real projects. And then you say, oh, this is the reason why I was learning this.
I'm thinking, Paul, you know, as you get older, there are a lot of people that always said, I can't see what I use calculus for in real life.
You use it. Pythagoras theorem. The other day I would remember Pythagoras theorem in primary school. And the other day I was at this high school in Belmopan, like, why we even use Pythagoras theorem? And I was like, remember the hypotenuse? If you need to paint your wall, you're going to use a ladder, right? Will you put it against the wall? No. You have to put it at an angle. That is Pythagoras theorem without you even know that.
And that's good.
And
that
this is how you make your students connect.
Yes.
Even when you're teaching that, you don't just come and give them the formula. Let them figure it out. Give them the ladder or something. What will you do with this? How will you reach?
And they'll want to learn that.
Right.
Yeah, it reminds me of youth parliament, for example. You could sit down in the classroom with these kids and you could teach them sociology or all these subjects all day. But when you put them in a parliament setting, for example, and have them create their debates on these different topics and actually engage each other in these debates, they get a practical understanding of what it is to be in government or to be a parliamentarian, etc. So this is what it reminds me of.
Or you take them to the actual House of Representatives. My students visited the House of Representatives. We did a section in Cycle 1, we were covering slavery. And we brought them to the Museum of Belize. Everything is there, the exposure, that is what take them out of the classroom, take them out of that classroom setting that we've been locked in, and we're not allowing them to see the actual world until you graduate, until you know we want to do it now. So and that is what competency-based education is all about.
What has the reaction been like from primary school teachers across the nation?
I can tell you this. We had consultations with the team, the bigger team, and then as the support team, we visit schools across the country, and you have that mindset. You will always have the two groups, right? The groups with the fixed mindset that, oh, change, more work, I don't want to engage in this. And sometimes we're not going to sit here and be like, oh, this is the lazy group. It's because they don't know. They need more training. So we need to train teachers, which is coming, and this change will not happen overnight. We have other countries that have taken 10 years to fully implement this, and for it to be effective, you need consistency. So we don't want to do it, the first cycle, and then, yes, interactive activities, and then you get tired, and then second cycle, you're not going to do it because you go back to the traditional teaching. So we want to support teachers, and that is the whole concept with having a support team. Visiting schools and not only recording what's working and what's not working, but actually provide the support. If you have a teacher that I don't know what strategies or what methodologies to use within the classroom, I don't know what project-based learning is or problem-based learning, then you provide that support to them. So you have the teachers that are ready and you know they're happy that it will be interactive activities and children will actually be learning and not just memorizing stuff. Because that is what we want to do, make sure that when a student is finished with primary school, there is something out there if you are unable to go to high school or to continue with your education.
Minister, so we are now in that summer break. Let's talk about what's the next for this curriculum rollout process.
Yeah, so actually now we have started to engage the teacher training institutions. So all the UB, Galen, all the 6 farms that teach teachers. We've been, over the last month, working vigorously with them. I am excited to report that they are fully engaged. They're fully on board with competency-based education. They recognize the gaps that our teachers, we need to fill for our teachers. So that's one thing that we're doing. Just a couple of days ago, I met with the wider ATLIB group, all the institutions, and we're about to start the preparation of a national tertiary education transformation strategy. So the whole tertiary sector as well. So this transformation is from preschool right through to university. And what is exciting is that the participants, all the members of the sector are engaged in it. And yes, there are those who, as we should expect, are a little hesitant, but once we take the time to hold hands and we go together, then we see that people are very much willing to do that. Specifically now, we have Ms. Paz who leads the support team for primary schools. So we have master teachers around the country who are part of her team. We're getting more and more training and they are visiting schools. So one of their primary purposes, and we're building a support team for secondary as we speak, is for them to visit schools, visit with the teachers, sit down with them. They're requested, for example, to come in and explain how do you assess for mastery, because now the assessments that we do are going to be different from what we used to do. So they would be able to go into the schools and do that. So the support teams themselves are being reinforced with more equipment, more knowledge, etc. So that's another part that's going on. And then we're also looking at the funding of resources, because that's critical, right? So we've gone through the first year, which is, been, the year before that was a lot of visiting and consulting. Then the second year was piloting that we just completed, and now we're implementing. At the high schools, each high school is sending in a 3-year plan, right? When we look at the National Curriculum Framework, which is available on our website, right? On the first page you could find it. They will come in and they will explain how is it that as a school, so there's that flexibility. Each school would have its own plan of what sections they want to address first. And now we at the ministry now will work with them to get that done over the next 3 years. Okay. We have found, for example, that there are software that have been developed where students can be tracked from they enter preschool right through. And that software would allow parents, you can log on to your to the site and get your child's report up to date. And so now it reverses things now and puts a lot of power in the hands of parents, which, by the way, the next year will be consultation with parents. We are planning, as school opens, we're going to be going across the country now with parents. Parents need to be engaged with us. Where now a parent can get the up-to-date reporting of what the child is doing with mastery. Because you see, with mastery now, it is the teacher now switches from just what we used to call summative assessments, where the traditional thing we're used to, you get a quiz, a multiple choice, an essay or whatever, and then you get a grade, a percentage. And that's mostly checking you for what you've memorized, your knowledge of the content. But now there are skills which you now demonstrate. So now how do you assess for demonstration of how much you know? So that's a different type of assessment, more formative types of assessment. So we have to work with our teachers to explain how to do that. And then critically, the values and attitudes, how do you assess for that as well, right? So those are the kinds of things now that we're engaged in across the entire country. So it's not a small task, it's a huge task, and that's why the ministry is taking a partnership approach. We cannot do it alone. We need all our partners, our teachers, our institutions, our international partners who have been great, UNICEF, the IDB. We now have a grant of $5 million from the Global Partnership for Education. For the first time, we've been able to access that grant, and that is to complement the things we're doing. So that's very important.
I was, not to cut you off, Minister, but I was going to ask, because it seems as if in executing this approach, there will be a need for additional resources in schools across the country, because we're talking hands-on, we're talking practical type of learning. Right. So there's resources that will be needed. And let's be real, some schools are better positioned in terms of being financially stable than others. So on one end, while you're using a curriculum to kind of balance the playing field, if a school is more is better positioned financially, they may have the upper hand, or there are conversations about supporting schools that need the financial support to obtain the type of resources that are necessary.
No, absolutely. You know, we have a very energetic CEO and chief. They're awesome with the rest of our team. So we have Connect Ed, which is a program where we've been working with BTL and connecting schools. So we've already done over 200 schools. And we know schools in the rural areas especially, and some of them don't even have electricity to start with. So we're working on those areas. In fact, our free high school program has started with the schools in most need. And that's because we recognize the inequality across the country, and we have to go where there's most need to try and get everybody up together. We have a lot of STEAM initiatives going on. So we have programs like code.org, we have programs with NASA, we have with Globe, we have programs with Samsung, the Korean company. We're going to be signing one tomorrow with FIFA. You probably will be there 3 p.m. at the House of Culture.
Thanks for the invite.
And you're very welcome. Please be there. And all of these now, you see the transformation we're doing now is bringing in new methodologies. This is where like Pathlight has been on the frontier. Methodologies that promote project-based learning, problem-based learning, inquiry-based learning. So the kids are working with real things that affect us day to day. And then the teachers collaborate with each other, get the students to collaborate, but it's with things that are modern. We're talking artificial intelligence, robotics, and all these things. So in parallel to this work that we're doing, we're fortunate to have a lot of partners that have come on board with STEAM education. You've heard about the ITSAT STEAM school that we're opening in September here, a program that did start in the past administration and that we have jumped on and pushed very hard, and with IDB, our partners. And so this now is what we call 21st century skills. These are the things that will equip our young people to live in the fourth industrial revolution. And so all of these things are occurring, but our partners are there. And we recognize that we don't have all the resources. The Millennium Challenge Corporation, as you know, have come on board with us, and we're very grateful to the people of the United States who we're getting a sizable amount of funds where the priorities for those funds in education will be first teacher training, then the resources for teachers to do their work. We're also looking at the TVETs as well. And then a very important area, wellness, the wellness of our teachers and the wellness for special needs kids and all that. So we're fortunate, it turns out that these things have happened at a good time where all of these resources are externally coming on board, and we're trying to manage our own local resources in such a way that we can have the resources necessary.
Well, in line with what Dr. Sabaneh is saying, I think that this curriculum framework allows the schools to be creative. And what I like most about it is that it creates experiences for the students, right? The students are the ones, you know, actually going through the coursework, but living an experience. And I can tell you for our school, in line with our Catholic Jesuit mission, what we are doing now is that our students, our seniors and juniors, will have a service learning project to do. This service learning project will entail that the students will go out. We will identify, we have 6 classes in third form and 6 classes in fourth form. So our students, we will identify 12 different organizations here in the city, and every week our students will go out and they will do a community service, a service learning project with these organizations, and then it will be tied into our religion curriculum where there will be different reflections and stuff that they will do. We also created our curriculum in such a way that the students will no longer come to school and take 4 years of English. They will come to school, and what we created is modules, different modules that will encompass specific skills. For example, first form, in first semester, the students will be doing, in English, they will be doing grammar and composition. First form, second semester, the students will be doing narrative writing. Second form, semester 1, they will be doing a different coursework, and semester 2. So what we did, we encapsulated the different skills, and this create a mindset even for the students, because the students will come knowing that what I will learn, what I will develop now, it's mastery in narrative writing and all the aspects of narrative writing. Argumentation will be another semester. So you know, it's a matter of the schools getting creative and working with their realities to ensure that, you know, they create these competencies and experiences for our students.
All right. Well, we are completely out of time, but this was a wonderful conversation to have. I feel like every time you guys come back and speak about the curriculum, we learn more, and I think that has a lot to do with how the process has progressed over the months, and we look forward to seeing further implementation and actually the students benefiting more and more, as they are already doing at SJC at this point in time. So Thank you all for joining us this
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for
Really
having
appreciate
us.
it. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to move the conversation over from education to sports. We'll be joined by the BK Sports Group. Don't go away.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the request and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier.
The Belize Tourism Board, Mars Production, and Pelican present the biggest show to hit the jewel we call Belize. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0. Join us on Saturday, July 29th and Sunday, July 30th at the Marion Jones Stadium with live performances by Morgan Heritage, the dancehall queen Spice,
Me's a girl, me no fight over man.
Busy Signal,
Afrobeat
sensation Rotini, the biggest dancehall artist for 2023, Byron Messiah, alongside Skinny Fabulous, Jadelle, Earth and Owls, Mr. Warming Up Adam O, and Lyrical. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0, July 29th and 30th. Come savor the rhythm as we pair music with the best of Belizean cuisine. Sponsors are Belize Tourism Board, Pelican, Niche, Pop, ICB, Wine Smith, eCash, Dolphin Production, DigiWallet, Channel 5, Love FM, Creme Radio, Channel 7, Vibes Radio, Fiesta FM, and OYE Radio.
I was 17 and in love, and I thought he loved me too. But now I know that a loving partner should not take away your choice of clothes you wear or the music you listen to. He should not take away your purse, car keys, or your phone so that when your family calls, you cannot answer. If your partner is controlling you, it is domestic violence. Call 0800 A Way Out or our cell phone number 672-9628.
It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. The world as we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing.
But hope is remaining.
And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. One chance.
Welcome back, and in our second conversation, it's all about the BK Sports Group and their scholarship program that they have. We've been joined via Zoom by Beresford Codd. He is the manager for BK's Sports Group, as well as Brighton Codd. He is the founder for BK's Sports Group and an athlete. We also have an athlete with us. That is Mia Sylvester. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning, Sabrina. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Nice to have you guys here with us. Of course, we mentioned that you are no stranger to Channel 5 and, of course, our viewers as well. So perhaps we could take things a bit to the beginning where BK Sports Group was initially started. Let's talk about that. Why did you guys find the need to establish this group?
Well, it started with this guy here to my right. You know, he got the first scholarship to go to Canada. He was, I think, wise enough to bring along Karim with him, his teammate on the national team, and we had a moment hanging out in Mr. Mark Busher's yard. He's one of our mentors who helped us to get this thing off the ground. That we can't have this be a one-off thing. You know, so Brighton and Karim went off, both did well in Canada. Karim ended up becoming, as you guys have seen in the media, Player of the Year in Canada. And we just decided to let's continue to test out the process. Let's learn the ins and outs of the system, because we found that even though athletes were going before, it was very inconsistent. The knowledge wasn't being passed forward in an orderly manner. So we decided to create this group to really have people to mentor along the way, the up and coming athletes who are interested in pursuing tertiary level education in the US and Canada.
I mean, you know what I think about Beresford? When I think of BK Group, I think of an opportunity for athletes in Belize, because a lot of times when we associate or when we have the conversation of sports in Belize, we talk limited resources. Yeah. We talk, you know, just having raw talent and not being able to really capitalize on that. So I have to say, first of all, that I appreciate that this group was developed for athletes, for Belizean athletes at that, but also to implement education in the conversation as well. So let's talk then about how it has developed over time to include other people.
Yeah, well, we started out with just 2 athletes, 2 guys getting that opportunity. That has translated to over 15 students now within the last 5 years. Happy to say that we have another 5 who will be going volleyball and basketball, the first one that we've assisted in sending out in basketball. So we have another 5 scheduled to leave in August. And Mia, of course, we have online with us, was our first track and field athlete who ended up going herself. So it really, we end up forming this network. So what has happened over the years now, like in the case of Francis Haas, when he got his opportunity, he was able to be a direct recommender for some of our athletes in Belize. And he has helped other guys. So he brought on 3 other guys along with him to his program at his university. So it's not only us. We definitely will not try and take all the credit for the work that's being done. It's really about changing culture, building a network, a community of athletes who are interested in higher education, and who are willing to share, who are willing to recommend, and who are willing to inspire. That's what we're about.
How does this network capture talents from across the country? Do you guys go about scouting talents? How does it work?
I think it's a combination of 2 things. Certainly based on the tournaments that are held throughout the country locally, across the districts, that's one area that you could start to pinpoint who are the standout talents and provide this platform that provides an opportunity for these athletes. But we also get a lot of athletes reaching out to us. I think we've grown quite popular over the years, and we have our platforms on social media, so we've been reached out to by athletes across the country from various sports, and that's the reason why we shifted away from just BK Volleyball Foundation when we started BK Sports Group, because we saw the need to be able to reach out to various sporting disciplines. Yeah. So it's a combination of both those methodologies.
Now, we'll get Mia in the conversation Mia, good morning once again. Let's talk first of all about what it meant for you to have received the scholarship and what the journey has been like so far.
Well, it was amazing because I didn't expect to have received that scholarship because I always said my son not going up to go to a D1 school or go to a high school or even receive a full scholarship. So just seeing the amount of opportunities when BK Sports Group contacting my mom was such an amazing feeling to see that I do have talent, I can go somewhere. And the journey has been amazing. I made some new friends, have met amazing coaches, and helped me improve technically and grow as a person.
What I hear you say is that sports and your discipline has opened doors for you that you never imagined could have been open for you.
Yeah.
Yep, I never imagined I would have my tuition paid and still do this sport that I love and compete in competition season.
What is the competition? What is competition like out there, and the experience like versus the experience that you were receiving prior to that?
Competition out there is like much tougher because you go against some of the best in the world, and it helps push you to be the best you can be because when your adrenaline is pumping, you have to push, otherwise you won't make the finals or even be top three. But it also gives you the experience of competing higher meets because in bellies, yes, I reached the point where it was easy for me to win. And
no
regrets. When I went outside, it wasn't like I throw to the 75 and I win. It was like I had to push to make it to the finals and push to even make it to a medal stand.
Yeah. So then let's talk about the scholarship program that you guys have now implemented. Perhaps Brighton, we can talk about that.
Yeah, so firstly, I must say that we are expanding now on the scholarship program. We're trying to implement this transition process within the scholarship opportunities. The tuition and the length and breadth of the scholarship is actually from the schools itself, from the universities. However, we're trying to ease the transition process to get students over there, and that's the reason why we had signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology. So not all athletes get full scholarships. However, it's important to understand that the academics can make up for what the athletics did not provide.
Yeah.
And so it's always important that we reiterate to athletes to ensure that you're performing in school, keep your grades up.
Take your CXCs.
Right. Also ensure that you take your CXCs because it's critically important if you want to be eligible to play in the NCAA, you take at least 5 CXCs. So that's a part of the process of obtaining scholarships and ensuring that you are properly solidified to be able to receive the opportunity when it presents itself.
Now, I would imagine that if we're being real, that schools are scouting talents that could help them win, that could add to the package that they already have, because I would imagine the competition is tough out there. So is there a caliber of player in any field of discipline that is being sought to receive a scholarship?
Well, what we've noticed and how we target it is we usually look for players who are at least at the caliber of the national team, whether they've played on the national team or they at least have to be regionally competitive. Because when you think about the level of competition, like in volleyball, for example, coaches actively scout in Dominican Republic, they actively scout in Brazil, in France, Italy. So you really have to be the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Right? Because what used to happen in Belize is athletes perform well up to about 16, 17 years old. And then, life happens.
Yeah.
You have to try and get a job. You have to end up starting a family. You become a full-time adult in Belize in the regular Belizean sense of the word. Nothing's wrong with that, of course, but for athletes really who like Mia, who we're seeing on screen there, really puts in the work, really wants to see how far they can take this sports thing where you know, she goes from Belize now to Idaho. I mean, I know she wanted to go to a D1 school, but I'm not sure Idaho was ever on the radar at an early age.
Right.
But we go where the support comes from, and I just want to make it clear that we don't have the money to offer scholarships ourselves, right?
Okay.
It's the schools, it's the athletes who earn the scholarships. What we do is we match them with universities who are interested in their potential, really. Because while you say they want to win right away, like some kids will be projects. Like our upcoming kid, for example, who you'll see in the U19 tournament this summer, Nissan Martinez. She's 16 years old, but she's 6'3", a left-hander. She can jump. She's very athletic, but she probably won't play a lot in her first year. She's somebody who our school will invest in for the last maybe 2 or 3 seasons, where they can get her in their system for a year and really see her make that jump to somebody who can contribute. Because a lot of our kids are raw, so that's what we have to remember.
Yeah.
But like Mia, coaches bet on potential as well.
So what?
And even
go ahead.
To add to that, Paul, if I may, because of the experience that I have as an assistant coach at Edward Waters University, sometimes coaches also look for players that would be able to provide key technical aspects of the game, particularly in team sports. So you may not be the best player, however, there's an opportunity there for players who have certain skill sets. And so that is also sought by coaches. And even though that might not provide 100% tuition, your academics can make up for what that partial scholarship may provide.
What do you imagine seeing this window of opportunity existing does for young athletes who have that vision to excel not only in Belize but abroad? And what would you say to those young athletes as well?
I think, Paul, before I give my answer, I'd love to hear what Mia thinks about it. She is one, like I said, who's really benefited from the program. And she's, very, very well thought out young lady. So I'd love to hear her first before I give my team.
There you go. Take over the show. Mia?
Well, I think that people should not make their thoughts overcome them, and they should always push themselves to go further, because you never know if you never try. And also, I believe that, yes, people think it's just talent and if you have more talent, but also your behavior, because my coach wants to see someone who's a hard worker, someone's a team player who support their teammates where they're down or where they're up, who celebrate each other's success, so it's also a lot more. And just go for it.
Yeah. Well, for me, what we've hoped, and we've seen it in volleyball already, Paul, is that it's changed the culture and the work rate in the national team program, in the up-and-coming, for the up-and-coming athletes as well at that U16 level, where they now have a new target. I mean, originally the target was just to make the national team, get a couple trips, go out to see Central America. Now it's like in the case of Hakan Godoy, who should be going to university come August. He's going to pursue his educational goals as well while playing volleyball. So he's enrolling in Benedict College to be an electrical engineering student. So he's getting a full scholarship to play full season, about 30 games, being in competitive form all year round, while pursuing his academic dreams as well. So that things like that are huge. It's cultural now, where kids are actively looking towards it. I have second farmers, third farmers reaching out to me now, say, "Oh, Mr. Cobb, by the time we get to fourth farm, we'll be ready. Like we got." Right. So
athletes are getting more serious now
from an early stage.
And it's also changing the mindset of parents as well. Parents are becoming more open to supporting their children in sports from an earlier age, because they see the developmental opportunity that exists through sports. They're no longer seeing sports just as a hobby, but they're seeing sports as a development tool.
Yeah.
Right. The scholarships are huge. Well, it's 50, like Derek Bruce's scholarship is $52,000 per year.
Wow.
Like she goes to private school. Hakan will be getting a scholarship for about $27,000 per year to cover all his housing, his books, 3 meals a day. So it's a huge return on investment for parents who really want to spend that time and that energy, finances as well, in helping their kids to get to that level where they can be competitive.
If there are any athletes that would like to reach out to BK Sports Group, how can they do so?
Well, you can reach us on our Facebook page, BK Sports Group. We're always active on the page. We stay ready to answer any inquiry. Send us videos, because we need tape. That's one of the things, and I love that Channel 5 is getting back into sports as well. Our athletes need footage. That is how we get them seen, because, you know, coaches aren't flying over to Belize in droves like what they do in Costa Rica and Dominican Republic. So we really need to produce more tape, get more 3-4 minute videos to showcase skills, and we can get them out to the schools.
Is it
so as much as we can, we need tape.
Is it that we're seeing that volleyball athletes are the most sought after right now, or is that changing?
Well, I won't necessarily say they're the most sought after, but they get the opportunities to play on the national team a lot. You know, I had a conversation with Mr. Alan Sharp last night, and he was telling me that, you know, they go to about 8 or 9 tournaments on an annual basis, and these tournaments always have great footage. You know, you are always able to get high quality 4 or 5 minute videos of each of these athletes. So there's constantly a platform for them to showcase their talent in controlled environments, in high level environments, and competitive environments. So that's what really gives volleyball the edge over the last couple of years. It's because of how their association has really pushed national team production and participation.
Interesting.
All right. Well, gentlemen, do you guys have any last words, any encouragement to athletes here in Belize that are trying to push themselves to get on that next level?
Yeah, well, I mean, for us, it's important that we recognize that it's a process for our athletes. Stay dedicated in the classroom, stay dedicated with your weight training, with your skill development, and opportunities will be there. There's no doubt about it. There's thousands of universities who are interested in finding those gems, and we feel like there's a lot of them in Belize. Just before we leave, I want to say a special thank you to the Ministry of Education, Minister Fonseca, Minister Zavane, who've always kept an open door for our young athletes to take up these opportunities, to assist how they can financially, to give whatever letters of support that are necessary in acquiring visas. So all of these things have really been a big help for us in making that transition smoother for our young people in Belize.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Also, thank you, Mia, and congratulations to you again. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you, Paul and Sabrina. And thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we switch things over to the Jankuno Production Group. They'll be here to talk to us about Cutie the Free.
Yay.
Don't go away.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axix Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Time to wake up. Time to prepare for the day. Time to learn. Time to make a difference. Time to look after yourself. Time to see your healthcare provider. Don't let cervical cancer stop you from unleashing your potential. Now is the time to get vaccinated. Now is the time to get screened. Now is the time to end cervical cancer. For more information, visit us at www.paho.org/endcervicalcancer.
And we are back with our third and final conversation for this morning. And it's all about Jankuno production and QT and the freak. We need some explanation real quick about what's happening there. But we have none other than Glenn Campbell, who's an actor, a director, and producer. We'll learn more about him. Julie Bradley, who's co-founder of Jankuno Productions, as well as no stranger to our morning show, Miss Sandra McKay, who is co-founder of Jankuno Productions. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we this morning?
Ooh, excellent. Great. Top of the world.
When me want to sleep, but
yeah, me and your friends. All right, so Miss Sandra,
yes.
First of all, I'll have you tell us a bit about this show. You guys have done an excellent job at many shows over the years. Let's talk about Cutie and the Freak. The title alone, see, that sets you off or sets you on or grab you or something like that.
Absolutely. Well, Jankuno Productions, we are people of our word. And we promised Belize a performance per quarter.
Okay, there
so
you
we
go.
were here promoting Bellytopia a quarter ago. And as promised, here we are with Cutie and the Freak. This one is written by Patrick Brown from Jamaica. And we've done a lot of Patrick Brown productions between the Rotary Plays and now, you know, in Jankuno Productions. So no stranger to the Belizean stage with his work. And it is, as always, full of fun. A laugh per line, practically, you know. So there's a lot to look forward to. Clean family fun again. You could bring the whole family, and it's tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7, 8, 9th of July at the Bliss, 7:30 each night. And the ticket booth is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we are here to tell people, run, don't walk. Run, go get your tickets, because this is going to be excellent. To have Glenn Titus Campbell, actor extraordinaire from Jamaica, with us is
like, don't stop.
honor and a privilege. And you will hear more about Glenn from Glenn. But I mean, way up there with Oliver and that kind of caliber. So we are blessed that Glenn will be on stage with the Belizeans, and it's going to be fun, fun, fun.
Well, let's hear it from him himself, Glenn.
Awesome.
All right,
Let's hear a bit about your background.
I've been in the business now for 40 years, although I look like 25. Hey, I can't help it. It's just the genes, okay? Yeah, but I've had the privilege to travel around the world doing theater, a passion of mine. And my love affair with Belize started from 1995. I decided to leave corporate Jamaica and follow my passion doing theater. And so I got a call from then Belize Theatre Company, say, hey, we have a production on here. We need some male actors. I said, me, I'm free. And I came down, and that was my first, and I just fell in love with the place, the people. And then I started the relationship with the Rotary Club of Belize City and Patrick Brown Productions coming down. And they said one of the times that, hey, since you're part of the Jambies Productions in Jamaica, come down and help us direct and work alongside us. And that's where it started. I've been doing it now for, what, 15 or so years, being in association with the Belizeans and, you know, producing theater. And especially after COVID, when, you know, COVID shut down everything. Theater in Jamaica, entertainment on a whole, right around the world. So it's good that Junkin Productions is keeping theater alive in the Caribbean. And anything to keep that going, I'm a part of that.
Do you have a favorite show in Belize?
We did, I first did One of Your Sons is Missing back in '95. Then I came back, I did Run for Your Wife. We did 2 productions of that. Then we did Cinderella and the DJ Prince. That was my last.
Sold out, all 3 nights.
Yes, I think that may be my best one today. But hey, I can always change, and I want to change. This one is going to be the best one. This one.
Now, Ms. Bradley, if you could, without giving out everything, set the stage for us and speak a bit about this title, Cutie and almost like Beauty and the Beast. Cutie and the Freak.
You guys have a way of playing with words. Because you said Run for Your Wife, which is probably live. Okay.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
You hit the nail on the head.
There you go.
Beauty and the Beast. So it's the Caribbeanized version
of
Beauty and the Beast. And
oh my God.
You know, I've been here before in my corporate attire and everything. And this morning I thought I would try to look a little cute. So that gives away a little bit that I will be performing and what role I will be playing.
Ooh, okay.
And so I am Cutie. Right?
Like, all right.
So I am Cutie, and it's Beauty and the Beast. We know the love story of Beauty and the Beast, but put it in the Caribbean setting. We have a father, we have an overbearing father, we have suitors, we have twists. And so we have, of course, we have to have the Beast, who is the freak.
No. He's not the Beast, and he's not the freak. Let's just get that out there. No, I know me.
Not guilty.
So he happens to be one of my suitors.
Ooh, okay.
One of him.
Are you the ever charming one from the original movie?
No.
Okay.
In the Caribbean, we do things a little differently. So
I would imagine.
But he tries to be charming.
I try.
Whether it works is another question. So exactly, and I think it's just so much fun. I have had so much fun, and I must say, Glenn has been a little bit. He's been a little humble when he speaks about his experience in theater. I mean, we've been directing plays, and it's an honor for me to be working along with Glenn, assisting with directing this in the Belizean setting. And I mean, Glenn has been in theater for over 40 years, and the experience is so great. And one of the things is we also have our local talent on stage, some new to the stage, some new-ish So we will have other faces that one of the things that Giancono Productions try to do is to give a place for people who want to find a space in theater. And so we always make the opportunity for those who want to be involved. If you can bring the commitment and everything, then we always try to encourage the growth of new talent. So we have Ronald Stewart, we have Dr. Lorna McKay. Not everybody knows Dr. McKay as someone on stage, but we have Dr. Lorna McKay, we have Charmaine Garcia as well joining. And so it has been a wonderful, and David Betancourt. Now, it's been a wonderful experience. We have had to use technology, of course, Zoom, in terms of our rehearsals, and I'm talking about late night, early morning rehearsals. And so we have put in the work, and we just know that the audience is going to love this one. It's very hard to keep theater alive. It's challenging.
Yes.
But we thank Open Your Eyes and all for just trying to give us that space to bring it to the Belizean public, because it's a part of who we are, and to keep something where people can come and see good quality theater.
Yeah.
Who writes these plays, and where do you guys get the constant inspiration to continue to write and bring about these storylines?
Well, as we were mentioning, Patrick Brown wrote this one, and Patrick has written most of the plays that we have performed. He has allowed us to use his work in Belize, mostly for the Rotary Club, and since the Giancono Productions has come on the scene, he has done the same. So that's the person that have written the majority. Good. However, when we look at just Giancono Productions, we have our own playwright.
Yeah.
The person of Julian Ellis Bradley.
We've done
and
3.
So we started with Belize Rewind that she wrote, and then we did our own Cruffy Air.
Yes.
And we did our own Bellytopia.
Yes.
And we have more. That she's already written, waiting for the Belizean public. So really, it's varied persons that we've used. We've used Dylan Bergen, we've used Delia Harris from Jamaica. But all in all, we try to make sure the content is wholesome. Yeah. We try to make sure the content is fun and good quality. And you add that to the performance that brings it alive, and we've become known. We've become a household name for people to feel free to come out and bring from the eldest member of the family to the toddler. So we are really thankful for the playwrights who have over the years sustained theater in Belize through the various productions.
So, Mr. Campbell, what are you looking forward to with this play for Belizeans to experience?
Can I say something before he answers?
Go
because
ahead.
A part of his humility didn't allow him to say he has recently been bestowed with the Order of Distinction in Jamaica.
Wow.
So you really have a tapa in Belize that you will come and see live on stage. Over to you, Glenn. And
for
that's
his
for his great work in theater.
Of course.
Yes.
That was the reason.
All right, so one thing about us actors, we like attention. We like people to be looking at us. And I've been here in the past and had a full house at the Bliss. So I'm looking forward to the same thing. This weekend, Friday the 7th, Saturday the 8th, and Sunday the 9th at the Bliss for folks to come out and enjoy, as Sandra said, wholesome family entertainment. Yeah. We love to laugh as Caribbean people. We like to poke fun at ourselves. And so we'll be doing a lot of that on stage. You'll be, folks, when you come, you'll see some character on stage that you know somebody like that in your family or next door or somewhere. You understand? And so you'll be able to relate. That's one thing about Caribbean humor and theater. It's a mirror in front of life. And so we look at characters and we tell stories that are our own. So hopefully people will be able to enjoy, identify, and leave too with a little message of some sort. Because Beauty and Beast, with all the fun and laughter, we try to also encourage some little message. And the message in this one is that you don't judge a book by the cover, and that everyone is redeemable, and that you should come from a place of kindness when you relate to other human beings around you. That's the message. And we like to spread good word and good messages.
Of course.
So what are the costs of the tickets?
All right. I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah.
We have general tickets for $25.
Okay.
Reserve for $50. Premium at $75. And if you want VIP where you can bring in your food and beverage, $100 for those.
$100.
That's the private balcony with only 10 spaces. So you can choose whichever one you want. Give us a call, 615-4282 or 610-4282, or go to the Bliss. The ticket booth is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. and get your tickets, but don't get the information secondhand. This is going to be so world class, first class, that you don't want to miss it. In my inner being, I am saying it would be a shame for anybody to miss seeing this personally, because it's going to be second to none in terms of the quality. We are ready, you know.
Yes.
When I tell you we're ready for you, we're ready. So when we're excited to bring to you, you're going to get a fun show of the highest caliber you can imagine.
What time does it start?
7:30 each night. Doors open at 7 p.m. So we always encourage persons to come out early. You know, be there for 7. So it's open seating. Whatever category you bought your tickets in, it's open seating. Come early and choose the seat that you want.
And what's the average run time
of the show? A little under 2.
2 hours.
A little under 2 hours.
Yes,
2 hours.
So, if you don't laugh enough, it will be 2:10 or thereabouts. So work towards 2:10. Can't go and laugh enough.
Yes. I'll have to wait till you don't laugh.
Well, folks, you heard it here. It sounds like it's a show that everyone should attend. I myself already sound interested because I appreciate that you guys are providing activities for family, clean fun, you know, for families to come out and enjoy. And I'm sure that there are young and older folks that are definitely interested in being a part of this. I imagine just the work that you guys do have brought about the interest in future young actors as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. In fact, if I may just indicate that one of the things that Sandra and I are really proud of is that recently we received a certificate of appreciation from the education department in terms of our contribution to the Belizean Studies curricula because of Belize Rewind, which in addition to it being entertainment, it has been a teaching tool for Belizean history, where people actually came to the Bliss, the students came to the Bliss, and they got to experience theater and learn Belizean history and see it come alive. And the teachers have said what a big impact it made in terms of how they were able to teach. So we were very happy to be recognized and to know that our contribution is being felt and we're making a difference.
No, I think that's important. We had the Ministry of Education on earlier, and they're changing up their curriculum to engage students more and make it more engaging and hands-on and interactive. So your work of keeping theater alive in Belize is not only for entertaining families, but it's also now with this new curriculum for teaching students that wants a different avenue than the regular office job or corporate work. You know, they want to do something that fulfills their passion and their desire, like theater. So keep up the good work. It's not for nothing, if anything else.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
And one more little giveaway before we leave. I heard Julian made mention that the QT has an overbearing father. Well, I have the honor and privilege of being the father.
No,
so you won't see this very feminine form. You're going to see a man and me overbearing. So come out and see me.
Look at QT
as a man.
Don't tell my part.
The flashbacks from rehearsal. Well, guys, we are so excited. I know that it's going to be a great show. We can feel the energy right here. So we know it's going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Yes.
See you there.
All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we wrap things up. So don't go away.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
At NextGen, we want to ensure more efficient and convenient ways for you to reach us. Inquire about your existing service. NextGen Bill, customer account, new services, and more. Get in touch with our friendly customer care representative by contacting us through any of our remote channels via our toll-free number 0800-222-5388, our service number 880-4200, or WhatsApp at 662-6365, by email at customercare@centraltv.bz, or send us a direct message through our Facebook or Instagram page. NextGen, delivering the highest quality service and care to all our customers. Thank you for choosing NextGen as your service provider. NextGen, bringing you the ultimate digital experience.
You can ride looking like a superfly disco.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Welcome back, and we are here wrapping things up, Paul. After 3 great conversations, I thoroughly enjoyed each one of them.
Yeah, I mean, the first conversation on the curriculum rollout, as I said to our guests, it feels as if the more we have the conversation, the more I learn about this new curriculum, the more I understand what's happening, and more I get to appreciate the benefits of such an approach. I'm not a teacher. I'm not necessarily in the classroom. It's been a long time since I've been in the classroom, but I don't recall having this type of approach to learning. It used to be just sit down and for hours, class after class, session after session, you're just being taught to and spoken to. And yes, you have projects here and there, but these projects oftentimes are just regurgitation of what you were talked to or thought. They weren't really a practical, hands-on, let's go outside. The most times you got to go outside was for PE, to go and kick a ball and stuff. But if you're not into that and you're into something else, there wasn't much to do that was hands-on. And especially in schools where the economic situation isn't all that good. There isn't much resources, so you don't have some schools may not have a computer lab or even a science lab to take that science theory and make it practical. So all of this, I could see how it will be beneficial. I know that it's It's a worldwide shift in education. I've read articles where this type of approach has resulted in significant and positive outcomes for students that fell back on their previous curriculums. This resulted in significant outcomes. I know that there's one school, preschool here in Belize City, actually, at the Mercy Church. There's I can't remember the name of the school off the top of my head, but their entire curriculum or their entire approach is hands-on and it's practical, and they're taking that and they're seeking to establish that across a primary school and a high school eventually. So love that about what's happening.
This particular segment took me back to one of my previous Bright Sides that I did earlier in the year, and it heavily focused especially on competency-based learning. We visited a school in Benque Viejo del Carmen, and it was a primary school. And I spoke with a teacher that was utilizing a competency-based learning approach to teaching the children about how to grow vegetables, but also how to enjoy them. And I'm not sure if you're familiar or if you remember the Bright Side that I did, where these kids basically tried to plant and grow their own vegetables.
Right.
And I saw, you know, these kids praying
This
for
was
their
in
vegetables.
the West, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They were praying for their vegetables to grow, and I really was so impressed with how invested they were in the process.
Yeah.
And because they grew their own vegetables, they wanted to eat their own
There you
vegetables.
go.
And as a result, we saw them making salads. And Paul, it even ended with me having to do a part 2 of that Bright Side, where International Salad Business in Texas saw the story and wanted to donate to the school in having them build a little farm area, a greenhouse area for the kids, and ultimately that would lead them into having a feeding program for them to eat more veggies. And I just thought that it started with the competency-based learning approach, where these kids were able to not only listen to how to grow up
or how it grows,
or, you know,
photosynthesis and all of that
but
stuff.
actually do it themselves.
Yeah.
And as a result, we heard, you know, these kids learning that they could potentially work in the field of agriculture. They could be an agronomist, and you know, before that they didn't even know, and they didn't even consider that as a potential future, you know, job. Of course, I think the overall message of that is that it is really important in teaching these kids competency-based learning, as Miss Miriam mentioned, and also as you mentioned, Paul. I think this particular teaching approach will really appeal to kids that have different learning types, where we are all used to just kind of sitting in a classroom and listening to teachers and writing notes, which more appeals to the audio learning type. You're able to now have a kinetic style of learning where you can be hands-on and have a lot more practicals. And really and truly, that's what I feel like I would have wanted when I was in school, and most of us as well. There are so many people that speak about learning best by doing things, or of course I'm also a visual learner, so seeing a lot of visuals and a lot of engagement take place. So I definitely think that this will be the start to further success in teaching here in Belize. But yes.
And then in our second conversation, we'd like to thank Barry Sword Brighton and Mia, of course, for joining us to talk about BK Sports Scholarship and all that they're doing. And then, of course, finally, John Kuna Productions, Cutie and the Freak, Beauty and the Beast, Caribbean style.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one. And I'd like to encourage you, if you have the time, it's only $25 for general. That's the base price. 7:30 at the Bliss tomorrow night and for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's going to be a really good show. They promise for it to be entertaining. Of course, it's fun for the entire family, so you can bring out the old and the young and really have a good laugh. And it's supposed to be 2 hours long, but 10 minutes extra if you laugh too long. But yeah, that was our lineup today. I really enjoyed all of the conversations, and we hope you did too, wherever you were. But we want to say thank you guys so much for joining us. If you have any questions or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. But you can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BC and Instagram for behind-the-scenes content. Maybe soon we'll have a thread, Paul.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Instagram for OIE Belize. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining us. And please join us again tomorrow on Fun Friday as you start your morning right. As you open your eyes.
And start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a great Thursday.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.